Level up, never lose, should've had better luck. Tryna see a check, I'ma run it up. Yeah, I do a lot, still ain't done enough. Level up, tryna see a check, I'ma run it up. Yeah, I do a lot, still ain't done enough. Never lose, should've had better luck. I'ma wake 'em up from a slumber. Money ain't nothing but a thing, and the level ain't nothing but a number. Life ain't nothing but a game. Level up, never lose, should've had better luck. Tryna see a check, I'ma run it up. Yeah, I do a lot, still ain't done enough. Waking up meant that he gave me a chance and I'm rolling the dice. I do it all, living like I'm trying to go for the platinum trophy in life. Who can you call? Really nobody, so you should just follow me on your device. And know if she chilling with me, then it's bound to be chemical X and the sugar and spice. Game in the system, but game is the hobby. I'm probably cocky, but hot as wasabi. I mean, if it's beef, then you know where to find me. My niggas is ready and so is my body. You should be running and telling your posse and what's in the speakers and what's in your potty. And she trying to kick it, but this ain't karate. Just keep that shit down while I'm watching Tsunami. I ain't saying I'm a super nerd, but I told you when we got involved, my idea of a perfect date is a PlayStation and some alcohol. I was role playing on GTA. I'm a good guy, but I got it all. If the world should end, be the first to leave, but the last of us acting naughty, dog. Level up, never lose, should've had better luck. Tryna see a check, I'ma run it up. Yeah, I do a lot, still ain't done enough. Level up, tryna see a check, I'ma run it up. Yeah, I do a lot, still ain't done enough. Never lose, should've had better luck. I'ma wake 'em up from a slumber. Money ain't nothing but a thing, and the level ain't nothing but a number. Life ain't nothing but a game. Level up, never lose, should've had better luck. Tryna see a check, I'ma run it up. Yeah, I do a lot, still ain't done enough. Level up, never lose, should've had better luck. Tryna see a check, I'ma run it up. Yeah, I do a lot, still ain't done enough. Level up, tryna see a check, I'ma run it up. Yeah, I do a lot, still ain't done enough. Never lose, should've had better luck. I'ma wake 'em up from a slumber. Money ain't nothing but a thing, and the level ain't nothing but a number. Life ain't nothing but a game. Level up, never lose, should've had better luck. Tryna see a check, I'ma run it up. Yeah, I do a lot, still ain't done enough. Waking up meant that he gave me a chance and I'm rolling the dice. I do it all, living like I'm trying to go for the platinum trophy in life. Who can you call? Really nobody, so you should just follow me on your device. And know if she chilling with me, then it's bound to be chemical X and the sugar and spice. Game in the system, but game is the hobby. I'm probably cocky, but hot as wasabi. I mean, if it's beef, then you know where to find me. My niggas is ready and so is my body. You should be running and telling your posse and what's in the speakers and what's in your potty. And she trying to kick it, but this ain't karate. Just keep that shit down while I'm watching Tsunami. I ain't saying I'm a super nerd, but I told you when we got involved, my idea of a perfect date is a PlayStation and some alcohol. I was role playing on GTA. I'm a good guy, but I got it all. If the world should end, be the first to leave, but the last of us acting naughty, dog. Level up, never lose, should've had better luck. Tryna see a check, I'ma run it up. Yeah, I do a lot, still ain't done enough. Level up, tryna see a check, I'ma run it up. Yeah, I do a lot, still ain't done enough. Never lose, should've had better luck. I'ma wake 'em up from a slumber. Money ain't nothing but a thing, and the level ain't nothing but a number. Life ain't nothing but a game. Level up, never lose, should've had better luck. Tryna see a check, I'ma run it up. Yeah, I do a lot, still ain't done enough.
What's going on? I'm Fitness Entertainment.
Wow. Wow. Is that how I sound to you?
We just got here.
Is that how you see me?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. I would say the ways and all of the ways that I see you, but I must stay professional at all times. Because I see you up, down, left, and sideways 9 times out of 10.
No,
but I'm gonna be nice. Full Diddy, sir.
Hey, that is a crime now. You better be careful.
You know what? It is.
It was a crime.
It really is. It really is. So that was my last full Diddy. That was the last one. The last one, because we can't say it that way no more. Because it's not a joke no more. It's serious. It's very serious. Listen, So much to talk about tonight. I'm at one point, I'm not gonna lie, I was a bit concerned. I'm like, man, what's really happening in the gaming space this week? But there really is a lot of stuff going on and a lot of stuff for us to talk about. But first, before anything, man, I see y'all in the chat. Nisa, what's happening? Stanley, what's going on with you? I see you in the chat rocking with us per usual. You guys are amazing. Do me a big favor, hit that like button before we get going. I do want to say a few things. First off, shout out to the people who shout out to Danes for Games. You guys see the logo at the bottom. Shout out to Danes for Game and that wonderful woman Dez who does amazing things there. Also, shout out to our sponsor Avid. If you guys want to get the best wired headset in the game, right? The best. It's not even close. This is the best wired headset. The best budget headset you can get. It is $60, but you can get 10% off and free shipping with the promo code LV1 Gaming. Link is in the description down below. Make sure you guys check it out. We're talking about the Switch 2 today. We're talking about the PlayStation 6. Yes, the PS5 Pro isn't even out yet, but yes, we are talking PlayStation 6 because we got to look into the future and figure out what will be happening to us as gamers, because a lot of change is going to be happening that my old head can't really fathom. And also, we're talking about Marathon. Will it be greatness like Helldivers 2 is now becoming again, or will it be dog doo-doo water and die like Concord? With all that said, what's going on, people? Famous Ham here from Lv1Gaming.com, and congratulations, you guys leveled up. This is the Level 1 Gaming Podcast. Thank you guys for rocking with us. Do me a big favor. Slide Crow, I see you in the chat, man. You guys do me a big favor. Hit that like button. It helps us out a whole bunch. Don't forget to subscribe if you enjoy the show. Though both of those things are free $99. However, if you want to support the team, what we do at Level 1 Gaming Co., you guys know we're out here at the PAXs and all these events. It costs money, right? And we're able to do this thing by the support that you guys give us. So super chats are welcome, but please consider becoming a channel member. And it is one of the best ways you can help us out. We have multiple tiers. Do whichever one works best for you. Any support is the best support here at Level 1 Gaming. We're going to go on introductions. First up, my right hand, man, the full hugger with the hardest of ours. What's going on, sis?
Ooh, I miss that. It's been 2 weeks since I heard that. I miss that. Makes me feel right at home. How y'all doing? I missed everybody. Missed talking games with y'all. Missed talking some nonsense about people being too hard. Full pause. Too hard up on some plastic boxes. But I'm here now to talk about it, and let's get into it.
Hugger, how old you is now?
I'm 31 now.
That's just a baby.
I'm a baby.
It's just a little. Listen, if Hugger's 31, I know I am. Listen,
no, I start looking at the calendar like, what year is it?
I honestly, because Hugger's always been the baby of the show, and I'm like, man, she is an adult. That's crazy. She is an adult. That is wild to me. Next up, if your emails is popping and your DMs is full, that's because communication director Level 1 Gamer trying to get a hold of you, baby. Baron J67, what's going on, Chief?
Well, it's a lot of emails, a lot of news, a lot of things to cover. We actually no, we've been getting a lot done, man, and it feels good. Much love to the new writers and our old ones. Which you guys are not old, you just been here for a while, so you know. But I really appreciate you guys. You make my life a lot easier, and you make Level 1 look really good. So please keep it up. And to those folks, welcome to the team. Got our very own Spider-Man and wrestling referee. So, you know, we got a lot going on here at Level 1.
That's super dope.
Yeah. But yeah, right. And they do amazing stuff, and we got a lot of topics to cover because for a week that I thought was gonna be dry, it's far from it.
Okay. Next up, if we got him with us, if we got him here, DALLAZ. Man.
Y'all know I feel some type of way about my sound being trash. And I know my sound is super trash right now, and I'll get that fixed in a second. But it's a sacrifice because next pod I'm gonna sound immaculate. Y'all don't even know. It's gonna be so. I'm trying to find like adjective that don't sound sexual, but trying to find an adjective that don't sound sexual, but I have a hard time because these are my friends, and so these are my influences, especially that
You don't
one,
put that on us, sir.
especially the dude with the
Wait, he called us
CVS
influencer.
reading glasses on.
He called us influencers.
Nah, because influencer is one thing. Influencers are famous within their bubble. You, Fame, Dez, and sometimes Hugger when she pop out of her pocket dimension she be in are all actually bona fide famous people.
Hey, sometimes you gotta pop out and
So yeah, that's what I'm talking about. So that being said, I feel like it's been a little minute. Like I'm with Hugger. I actually really miss y'all, man, and I'm ready to get it going. We got a lot to talk about.
last but definitely not least, one of the hosts of Black Voices in Gaming, founder of Dames for Games. Y'all see the logo at the bottom, man. We rock with D4G because D4G rocks with us. Des, what's going on, sis?
Hey, I'm glad to be here. I'm sorry I'm not on cam again. It's been a rough week, but like in the most promising way. So I'm excited to get on and talk to you guys about whatever it is we're talking about. To be fair, I just read over everything that we were talking about today because I have not been paying attention to the news. But looks like there's some exciting stuff on the horizon.
Listen, and I do want to start and jump right off. I want to talk about Marathon, right? Because we do understand that Sony and PlayStation had an initiative to drop more multiplayer games. As we know, PlayStation is known best for its third-person, over-the-shoulder action-adventure titles with a little bit of stealth. That's what they do, and they do it great. I say that as a joke, but also being honest, because keep it a buck, who does it better than Sony? Very few can do it how Sony does it in that act. They're great at it. But one place they were lacking is the multiplayer aspect of it, right? For the longest time, Xbox was the dude box, the bro box, and all they do is multiplayer games, right? And Sony had some bangers back in the day when people always come back, bring back SOCON, bring back Resistance, right? All these games are in the chamber that may never come back. But then we hear during the lasting part of Jim Ryan's era is that PlayStation is, hey, we're going to go all in on a bunch of gas games, right? Helldivers dropped almost immediately after that, and it was a hit, right? I played it relentlessly on PC. Went away from it. A lot of the community went away from it because the developers was nerfing a bunch of stuff, and they made the game unnecessarily difficult. And then now, from what I'm hearing, Helldivers is back in action. Like they did a big patch and rebuffed everything back. They put the game back because they don't want to continue to lose players on top of having a game like Space Marines 2 come out. And then you got later on, you got the Rico's Roughnecks. What's the name of the game?
Starship Troopers.
Starship Troopers coming out. So they had to get their fan base back because I think Starship Troopers, especially with it being multi-platform, was really going to dig into Helldivers because they had the name power behind it, right? Most people in this space, you know about Starship Troopers. I say, who's Roughnecks, and y'all say Rico's Roughnecks. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Well, do you want to live forever? Yeah.
Do you want to look? Yeah, exactly, right. And then so we went from Helldivers 2 and then Concord, right? Concord was DOA within you had me, was it 9 days if it even survived that long. It was a hero shooter. It was $40. It didn't, and we talked about it last week about all the issues that it had that could have saved it and they didn't do. That game has been shelved. People got refunds. Even before then, the Last of Us multiplayer, which it still pisses me off because the Last of Us multiplayer wasn't really attached to the Last of Us, and you made a remaster of the Last of Us, and you took away the multiplayer, and you told us we're going to get it later on, and you probably plan to charge us later on, and then you ultimately scrapped the game. So you took something away. Yes, you made it more pretty, but you scrapped the game. Come to find out that they went to Bungie and everyone else was like, "Hey, this isn't good," so they scrapped it. Which I think, I think that would have been because they had the Last of Us multiplayer and Uncharted multiplayer. Even though it's not in the likes of Call of Duty, it had a following, right? I know I'm getting a little long-winded, but I'm getting there. So Concord came and it grand opening, grand closing, right? Instantly, right? So now it's on to Marathon, their next multiplayer game. And we did get some new news here recently about the game. So it will launch at $40. There's some notes here that Concord's recent fee of $40 did not change this because they are too far along to pivot to a free to play. Now, this isn't a hero shooter, but there are in fact heroes in the game. This is more what's that game that Tarkov game? Escape from Tarkov.
Yes.
The extraction. It's more of an extraction shooter. It's not a hero shooter, right? But they are heroes, and they all have unique abilities and personalities. Um, there's a class system similar to Apex Legends, but with more customizations. Heroes can be customized with skill trees, gameplay buffs, and special implants that give you further customization. Shout out to Okami13 who really lays this stuff out on Twitter to make it easily digestible before you have to go into an article. He just kind of gets it out there for you. So shout out to Okami, man. There was somebody else used to be on Twitter used to do that, and he left Twitter before he can make money off of it. Nibble, maybe that's what it was. All right. Gears and guns you loot during match will be most important and can be customized further. Art direction and visuals from the trailer remain intact. The next showcase of the game likely won't be until spring 2025, with the 2025 being the release window. A lot of this info he put out came from Paul Tassi from Forbes.com. If you guys want to go out and read that, you can. I'll put it in the description down below if you want to go out and check out the full article. B, I'm gonna swing over to you again. Last of Us 2 canceled. Helldivers, great. Died, great again. Concord, dead, and now Marathon. Again, we know PlayStation is a third-person over-the-shoulder action-adventure title. They graded that. Multiplayer has been hit or miss so far. Your expectations for Marathon?
I think the one way to guarantee a somewhat of a win would be to go ahead and take a loss with your PlayStation Plus Premium community. Put it in PlayStation Plus Premium. If the $40 game tag is gonna absolutely be mandatory at this point, which tells me like with all your other games, because let's be real, Bungie made Destiny 2 free to play. Like that became free to play at some point.
Yep.
So it's safe to Overwatch 2 became free to play at some point. Like it just so it oh god, is that like the new thing to do with heavily multiplayer games is to make them free to play in the future? Like if you don't have the name power of a Call of Duty of like is this the route you have to go is get as much as you can up front and then go free to play?
And then shift to free to play. If your model is set up to really dig into gas and you can make money, then I think you get your initial money, make up for your loss, and then later on you make up with the consistent. If you can build the community.
Well, I'm gonna tell you this. I think a solid way that still brings in money up front while still building is not, don't charge the 40 up front. What you do is you make a $39.99 founder pack. Like, hey, you want to play the game a week early, you want to get a specific skin, a banner, a title that you can only get for being a founder. It's only available to founders here at $39.99. And then you create tiers. Maybe there's just a $5 tier where all I get is that just gives me a founder day and I get a 72-hour access to the game before it goes global. That's a way to where it's almost like crowdfunding, and I feel like that'd be a better measurement than to just throw the $40 tag out there. Like create the tiers, see how many you get the community involved, get folks, find your Bungie influencers to do giveaways. Like I think there's a better way to approach that fits today's modern world, and throwing a $40 price tag from Bungie, the people who have one of the biggest shooter MMOs out right now that's free to play, for them to turn around and try to charge me when I could just go back and
do you think it has a better chance in the space B because it's not a hero shooter, it's an extraction shooter? I know we talked about hero shooters have to be free to play because Overwatch set the standard for that. With this being technically a different genre, does it have a better chance to survive with a $40 price tag?
I think so, because the genre is, I don't know of any free to play extraction shooters. You guys, what is it, Valor or something like that? Or not Valor, or Vandal. It's on Xbox. I forgot the name of it. Correct me in the chat, please. But there's a few games that exist, but most of the popular extraction shooters that I can think of, they cost money, and then they don't, like, in their early phases, you didn't even buy them through Steam. I think you had to go to like their direct source
Website. Yeah.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken. So it stands a chance, but then once again, it's who it's coming from. So it's coming from PlayStation and Bungie. When I think PlayStation and Bungie, I think Destiny. When I think Destiny, I think free to play.
Thanks for
So
thinking of me.
what happened? I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
I just said thanks for thinking of me.
Oh, dad. It took a second. Dad brain.
It took a really long time for you to get that.
I
I
was
thought
like,
you were gonna get it immediately.
no, you know what? Did you notice my cadence? I had like serious
Yeah,
Baron
yeah.
going.
Yeah.
That's
He
what
was
that
locked
was.
in.
I was locked in serious Baron, so I didn't catch the joke. That was filtered out. But no, that was a good one. High dad joke praises. But no, without going in circles, I think they should do tiers. Do a tier system, and then open it up free to play. Like, or lower that charge. Like it just
What do
I think
you really think
$40
it needs
isn't
to
that
be at that point?
high.
There we go, Des. Perfect. Go ahead, D.
I don't know which one, if you're talking to Dallas or to me.
D.
Oh,
No,
I'm sorry,
Des.
Dallas.
You chimed in. Yeah,
Yeah.
cause
Oh, okay.
I'll make a point
think-
you was about to make. So go ahead and take it.
Oh yeah, I don't think $40 is that high when you compare it to what people are charging for games now.
Sure.
I part of me agrees with what you're saying, Baron, but I think they could, because this is not the first time this has happened, and the games are still like pretty successful. Any game that already has something set up to where you can buy cosmetics and things like that, like at some point it's going to be free to play for the most part, because you're not going to have the same hype, and then it's going to be about retaining those players you already have more so than like bringing in a bunch of new players. So I think like they could introduce the tier system after they introduce the initial $40, and people would still play, right? Like it was $40. Oh, but like now a year later it's like $20 to get into the game, right? Like I don't think $40 is a lot. I think a lot of people are going to feel the same way, especially because people are paying $60, $70, $80 for games now.
No, that's great. And what I'm afraid of, B, not necessarily afraid, right? Are we getting to the point to where it's like, hey, unless it's Call of Duty, which is not going into Game Pass, any multiplayer game, like it better be free to play, or we're not like that. I think that's going to cause the death of multiplayer games, because like their whole get down is we're going to make money of cosmetics, not the upfront cost. Like I think we're going to get less from these multiplayer games if that's the case.
Well, let me tell you why. You gotta like I forgot who was talking about it, but basically just shifting the mindset of who the core gamer is now. When I think of my kids, when I think of people who play Genshin, when I think of people who play what is it, Zenless Zero, like you have a majority of gamers now who are this is the norm. Is the
Yep.
free to play battle pass, easy to access, play anywhere setup. So the idea of taking a new IP, that's where this struggle, and it kind of fits into what you were saying. Yes, new multiplayer IPs gotta, in my opinion, especially if you want to have longevity, you might have to come out at a cheaper price. Do you think Helldivers would have been as successful at $70? No.
No.
I
But I'm
thought Helldivers was too expensive
great
for
at
what
it.
it was when it first came out in the first place. Like that was.
Ooh.
I know a lot of people. I know it's an unpopular
Now,
opinion, whatever.
yeah, that's fair.
But I just felt like it was too expensive for like what it offered at first.
That's fair because there's no true story. It was literally get out there, run and shoot, and
Yes.
hopefully extract. I get
That,
you.
and that was
core.
my point. Yeah.
And we only speak highly of it because it was successful. Because I agree. If it would have came out trash, people were like, "Oh, it should have been free, or it should have been $10, or it should have been," But because it was such a hit, that $39.99? That was a perfect. Honestly, I feel like normally $39.99 is such a magical number because it's like Des said, it's not too expensive, I'm willing to roll the dice. You know, this is a couple trips to McDonald's. I could do this. Like, and it's a game to play. But when you're trying to compete and have legs, it's a high risk situation that I personally feel you could have a better turnout and better investment if you do like a founder thing. That's my point. I'm sorry.
They only have 2 maps you can play right now, right?
That's for the people in the beta or whatever, right? Based on
when is the game supposed to be released?
2025. The release window was 2025. The next showcase likely won't be until spring 12. We're still a ways away. Like, they have time to cook, and they need to cook it, because I don't know if I'm gonna say something I don't know if Bungie can survive this game being a flop.
That's fair.
I mean, like, today, I don't know if a lot of places can survive their game being a flop, because, like, even talking to people who, like, work at AAA studios, they're like, you know, there's always ebbs and flows in the industry, but, like, even they're saying, like, this is the worst we have ever seen it. So, like, banking on a game is so scary, even for a studio. It's just scary. So I hope that by the time that they do a release date announcement, they have a lot more to show that makes people want to pay $40 for the game. Because honestly, like, let's think about it, like, economically wise, like, we're not in a great place. Am I going to spend $40 on a game that has this kind of the same feel, play, and mechanics as a game I already have? Like, what are you doing to make this game stand out?
Yeah. Because there should be marketing. Like, you should be teasing the hell out of us. I mean, hell, what's it called? Destiny was in Halo 1. It was in a poster. Like, they were teasing that for real.
It was in Halo.
Not 1. I'm sorry.
Reach
or ODST 1. Yeah.
It was a Reach or ODS. One of those two. Yeah, it was in there. I just don't see. I feel like if this game fails, and I am one of the people that I want every game to be successful, because why would you want a game to fail? I just feel like if this game isn't a hit, then they're just going to be a Destiny studio forever, which will drive them crazy, because they left. Part of the reason they left Microsoft, they didn't want to be a Halo studio forever. But if this game doesn't do right, they're going to say, "Hey, no." Well, Sony's going to say, "No, put all of your resources into making Destiny," and that's it. Because even someone like PlayStation or Microsoft, with all this money, the industry in a whole is scared. I'm about to say scared. It's scared to take a risk, because flops tend to mean closures of studios now.
Well, hell, successes mean closures of studios too. That's the sad part. But keep going.
That's scary. But D, I want to get your thoughts on this, brother. Is Marathon something that you're looking forward to? And looking at the details that we are seeing today, is that $40 price tag? Is that scaring you off at all?
We can't ignore that statement that Baron just made, though. We got to go back to that real fast. Like, a successful game could mean a studio closure. Is wild. And it's even more wild that that's true. Damn, moment of silence. But it's funny enough, I think Helldivers is probably the only extraction shooter I could think of off the top of my head that wasn't free to play that I looked at more than once. So I'm a little biased when it comes to this subject, especially in the case of like first person stuff, because y'all know how I feel about that. It's got to be special for me to care about it in first person. But generally speaking, I think the community or the type of person who's going to like the game based off genre, based off gameplay style, based off like all the things that have to do with like the trappings of said genre. They might mess with it. $40 is pretty, low barrier to entry these days, given the price of games, and very well illustrated by Baron, the price of games. And a lot of good games being cheaper, but everything else being pretty freaking expensive, relatively speaking. But for the average person, y'all said it all. I think everything y'all said thus far fully applies to like the average quote unquote hardcore gamer, like people like us. And I think that speaks perfectly for people like us, but the general person, like, okay, so sorry for being long-winded, but there's three like tiers of person here that I see, and I probably mentioned that already. There's us, the quote-unquote hardcore gamer that plays a bunch of different stuff, and we have our genre that we locked into, and blah blah blah. And for us, y'all perfectly illustrated the way we see it. Then there's the casual who won't care unless it's successful. In which case, like if it blows up, everybody will be all over it for a couple months, and then it'll die, and then the game will have its like audience, and hopefully that audience can sustain it, like a handful of other games tend to be able to make happen. And then we have the people that are into the genre, which will probably be that said audience. Like I think that's what it'll look like, but I hate to see it die. I don't really see a whole bunch of like I mean, I can't say if it'll blow up or not, but that's like the scenario I see in my head.
Hugs. I'm gonna swing over to you for the last word, sis. Marathon. Do any thoughts that this might be the is this going to grand open and grand close, or do you see some success possibly happening with this game, which again I hope for?
I hope every game is good. I'm with you. I hope and I pray. I was praying Concord would be good for the people that want to play it. And for those that had their fun time, I'm glad you did. But I think the reason why most people are probably scared, even talking about is this game worth it or any of these games worth it, is the gaming is so unstable right now. Like, I play ESO. ESO is not free to play, and it also has a subscription model. Final Fantasy has a subscription model. Star Wars The Old Republic has subscription models, but we know we can trust these companies to be around forever. If Sony doesn't like something, they've proven that they will pull it out immediately from under you. So do you even want to put your money towards that when Baron was right? That's a couple trips to McDonald's. Or would you rather, just like Des said, play what you know is available? What you know is reliable. I think if people are going to enjoy this game, let them enjoy it. But if you don't want to play it, don't play it, baby. Simple as that.
And listen, I again, before we move on, I think my biggest fear is that we're going to get into a space to where all multiplayer games either have to be in a service or free to play. And if we get to that point, you guys we're not going to get no innovation in these type of games. It's going to be, well, whose character is the sexiest, and that's going to be the game that people go to.
Hey, Fame, tell them what game
It
you're
makes
playing
it
right now.
Right.
What game are you playing right now, Fame?
I don't play video games, sir.
Look at them eyes.
What's the last game you played, sir?
Starfield.
Sir, you want me to pull up your history on stream for everybody? Like, don't make me get you.
I almost put a meme that would got us canceled out here.
Killer.
He's
I play Killer Instinct and Marvel
wow.
vs.
The cap factor is so high.
And Mario Kart 8 and Smash.
Wow.
If we fall into this dystopian scenario that Fame mentioned, I think it'll be
and he's participating
once again. It'll be once again up to indies to save the day. Like there's always gonna be that little like creative indie game that comes out, and like there's that mechanic nobody thought about before that blows up a game, or there's this cute character that blows up the game, and then now all of a sudden everybody wants to make a clone of that game, and then boom, we have a games industry again.
I mean, EVE Online is celebrating like 10 years.
Yeah.
Actually 15 or something. Like World of Warcraft.
Did I tell y'all about the time I met
Oh,
like
wow,
a hardcore EVE player? Like I was at the airport.
No.
You were outside?
Yeah, that's what was weird. No, it was so that's what threw me off. No, he was talking about how him and his crew took over Galaxy, because remember that big war that made its way into the news? He was part of that. And he was like, he would get calls in and he would have to like disappear from his family for a bit. Yeah, it was a whole thing. I should have interviewed him.
Yeah, that would have been great.
That's intense. Like Warframe is free to play. We're already kind of in PlanetSide 2. We're kind of in that already. It's just games that nobody thinks about anymore. Dead or Alive is free to play
Yo,
as a fighting game.
shout out to legendary
Yeah.
Yobi. Hashtag peace, love, life, love y'all, man. Been a channel member for 14 months. Always showing love, man. Shout out to Yobi, man. Genuinely one of the best people in the gaming space. Shout out to Yobi, man. Much love to you, my brother. Yes, Drake Williams, the first descendant. That's all I've been playing.
That's it.
Called out.
This man is part of the problem.
I got like 20 days.
This man is part of the problem.
I think like something that we haven't talked about is like games also follow trends, and there's also like a cycle of what's popular now versus like what's popular then. So like for a while, like MMOs were super popular. Everybody was trying to do an MMO, right? And then it kind of, and that was like after WoW did its thing, right? Everybody thought they could do it. I don't necessarily see that. The only thing that I see moving forward that's probably like going to change gaming forever, and it's already started, is like the lack of console production and that everything's going to be online and you're not actually ever going to really own your game. And I think that is the way of the future. When it comes to like different genres and styles of gameplay, that's just a cycle and it'll go in and out.
Amen.
Ain't it a trip that
Man.
what Netflix is doing to movies or did to movies, streaming is about to do to games? Like it's like
right video
there.
killed the radio
First
star.
of all,
Man.
First of all, shut up, Des. Nobody asked you to give us any actual, real,
I'm sorry.
well-informed perspective.
Yeah, we're trying to fight, bro.
Nobody actually asked you to talk to know what you was talking about. Like,
you know too damn much.
Go home, Roger.
But you're right though.
I'm gonna just eat my soup. I'm so sorry.
That paints a very
No
dark
soup for
picture.
you.
And not like
Chicken noodle.
It is
With a
chicken
soda on
noodle.
it?
How'd you know?
Come on. Just like you probably got
You
some
know
butter
why.
pecan in
With
the
a
fridge.
soda on the
Right.
side.
Clear it
You
out.
got-
Hey,
It's
You
not
got some
soda,
butter
it's
pecan.
sparkling water. It is sparkling water, and it's homemade chicken soup.
First
That's-
off, sparkling water.
Yeah, it's
Oh, it's-
mango flavored though.
Look,
is it
also-
actual flavor or like Tulsa water like that?
She
No,
ain't
it's
making
like
it
the
here.
what
Fucking that
ice
green
cream?
bottle.
What ice cream you got in the fridge though? Let them know.
Butter pecan.
Oh, I don't have any ice cream in the fridge.
But if you did have some, it would be
Probably it would be like butter pecan or like
Black women.
Okay.
That's all y'all
Because
eat.
these answers
On my
definitely determine
all black women eat is butter pecan ice cream, bro.
bro.
or cookies and
The
cream.
first
They like
time I
cookies and
met a
cream.
black woman who didn't eat butter pecan ice cream, she wasn't from the States. Let me just put that out there. I was like,
I get it
Come
from
on.
my dad though.
oh
Like,
no,
that's
don't.
his favorite.
We know it's genetics. We know.
Mhm.
Well. It's just,
Really?
Like a moth to the flame.
well,
oh my
like a
god,
moth.
did you guys ever really random? Did you guys ever see that episode of Burnout Brighter where like I called my dad because Matt kept asking for chitlins and I called him live during the show?
Nope.
First of all,
now.
Matt asking for chitlins is wild.
He got his feelings kind of hurt because my dad.
Oh, he cussed him out.
If I can find it, I'll.
I'm surprised
Oh,
you didn't ask for no chicken either.
Yeah.
And some watermelon.
Oh, we're shaming Matt. Matt catches strays on a random episode. I love it.
Who dares? Boy, a child? No, let me check.
Child, please. Hey, no, look.
Shout out to
That's
Matt. We
the
love
reason.
Matt, but that was out of pocket.
This
Hey,
is
no,
the
hey,
reason I have
Lisa.
a policy, a personal policy to never eat watermelon or fried chicken in front of white people.
Bro.
I can't. Now,
But B, go ahead because I'm about to change subject. One more. What you got?
okay. So Nisa Howard, which sounds like it's such a dope name. Has anyone tried the Coke Oreos or Oreo Coke? I'm scared.
It's a
but
like it's
I
a
did
cookie?
see.
Americans. What?
But
do
no,
you
there's a
eat?
sugar-free one. There's a sugar-free one that I kind of want to try. Because Coke Zero is fire. I don't even like Coke like that, but Coke Zero is fire.
So it's a cookie. It's an Oreo cookie that tastes
There's
like
an
Coke.
Oreo cookie that has
Oh.
hints of Coca-Cola, and then there's the Coca-Cola that has hints of Oreo. And people are saying it's okay.
Why?
I'm personally scared.
I feel
I'm
like it would
afraid.
taste
I'm gonna
like
tell you
some soap.
something. It's better than okay. It's amazing.
What? Speak of
Oh,
the
Mary.
gosh
I
darn
didn't
It's
plan
good.
this.
amazing.
I didn't plan this. I swear to God, I didn't plan this, y'all. I
What?
had no idea he had
Is it
that.
They
like a
better
cream?
cut the check after this because that was too perfect.
I
It
swear
tastes like
on
Oreos,
everything.
baby.
Really? But
Why are
see,
you
Same here,
the
chewing
idea
it?
of
So
so
good.
drinking, but the idea
Why
of
did you take
drinking
a
an
sip and then
Oreo
start
sounds
chewing?
strange.
It tastes like the cream in the middle.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Like
So it's a cream cola?
that's what I was
No,
thinking. I'm like, it's not.
but it's not a cream cola.
Okay.
But it
Okay.
tastes like that cream in the middle.
That
Somebody
just sounds
claim-
so dirty.
Oh,
Like, I
Diddy.
don't know
somebody
how
He
to
said
taste.
he wasn't doing no more Diddy today, and then
Well,
boom,
listen,
broken promise.
This is I can't eat.
and
the
it's the
cookie. That's
zero
scary.
version because Coke Zero is better than the original
Hey,
Coke.
Zero's fire. Oh, hands down.
You know why we talking
Like,
about it? They have like a Beetlejuice Fanta, right?
nah, I'm good. See, you taking it too far. Look, we were having fun.
That sounds like Surge. Do you
Like,
guys
why
remember
No, it's
Surge?
basically
Sir.
green apple cream soda.
Oh,
Fame, you drinking that like an uncle, man. You just slow and
Because
enjoying
it's been in the
this.
fridge.
Oh, it's
It's
got
been in the fridge.
ooh.
It's
Have you ever caught a soda right before it freezes and
bust.
explodes?
yeah.
When it turns
It's
so icy and it's like,
when it's like
No.
right there at an icy a little
Thin,
bit.
like,
Damn guys, what's
yeah.
happening?
Wait,
Listen, I do got to switch.
you
sorry.
Americans.
I just
You
wanted to
crack it
say,
open and it turns.
I know it wasn't a topic, but like, I just wanted to know if we could slip in the fact that like they canceled The Sims 5 after 5 years of production at some point.
Wait. What?
Speaking
Yeah.
of things black women love, what?
Yeah, what?
The
How?
Sims!
Yeah. No, that is no lie. That is definitely a black woman game.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's a phone. So we're gonna get on that. That is that is huge.
Yeah, we gotta talk about
We
that.
got to talk about that. But can we talk about the pipeline between like the little cat game on the tablet for kids and the little worlds like Tokaboka World and whatnot that kids play that pipelines directly into Sims? I
Yep.
swear it is
Yep.
my kids, all three of my little black girls will be freaking Sims players. They're already playing games that's the Sims. And it's so trippy to watch. It's like a whole pipeline. But yes, Des, can you kind of give a little breakdown of what happened, please? Because I didn't know.
So like, I mean, there's been rumors for a while about them like not giving enough updates and different people like leaving the team, but they finally announced it that they're actually canceling The Sims 5, which is crazy. And I kind of wonder if it's because like you have all of these other games coming out now. Like I think Inzoi has scared the shit out of the Sims team.
Oh
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
That game looks amazing. Like it looks
Even
so
though it's
good.
a lot of stuff that the community doesn't normally like. Like I think the AI, there's a big AI component, if I'm not mistaken.
There is.
But the general public don't care. They're gonna eat it up.
They don't.
Mhm.
They absolutely don't. If they open it up to where people can create content for it too, like any game that you can mod
Just
will
say you
like
want Wicked
keep the
Whims on
longevity
it.
of your game. If they have Wicked Whims, I'm installing it.
I'm with you. Don't worry.
I'm gonna.
So,
I
can
mean,
I
you
read-
guys know how
can
I
I
felt about
read-
the bear.
Yeah. Can I real quick just to lay out the groundwork? This is from Variety. Electronic Arts' popular free-to-play life simulation video game franchise, The Sims, is breaking from tradition with the gaming company confirming Tuesday that there are no plans for a Sims 5. That's insane. Game as the successor to the current edition, The Sims 4. Instead, The Sims 4, now a 10-year-old title, damn. And the longest running installment in the franchise's 25-year history. That's another double damn. Will continue to receive updates and paid expansions. Additionally, the Sims team will be launching a new offering that will include multiplayer mode and partner with some Sims players to sell their own custom in-game content through the EA store as creator kits.
Yep.
Wow.
But I mean, like, honestly, it's cheaper.
Yep.
We going
And the
full
engagement's
capacity.
going to be up.
They spent 5 years on this game in canceling it. And Sims is a really popular IP. Even if you don't play The Sims, you know what The Sims is.
So
for them,
ask,
and they're constantly making money because they have that retention with people. So the fact
it's
that they were like,
free to play.
I'm just like,
Yeah,
what were y'all
too.
doing for 5 years? Oh yeah. And that happened what, like 2 years ago?
recently, yeah.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy because nobody gets through the month of October without seeing at least one person with a green like gem over their head.
Yep.
Man, that's true. That is such an
5
easy
years.
costume.
I just wanted to bring that up because I remembered
No, that's huge. No,
reading the
that
news
is
about it.
extremely huge. And I wonder, right? Does this do you think they're leaning into more so that model that was breaking down? You lean into the community. Like obviously they are, but do you think that's going to be more successful for them? I know cheaper.
Oh, absolutely.
sure.
I think the only reason why the Sims 4, because like if you ask any Sims player, they're like 2 was better or like 3 was better.
Or the
I
urge,
think the
but
only
people-
reason why Sims is as strong as it is because it's had a diehard community for so long. Like the community is what makes the Sims. Like the community brings in new players. You know what I mean? So like, and then when they release these packs and they release these updates, it's because they are actively listening to their community about what they want to see in the game. So for everything that they were probably going to put in Sims 5, they're going to find a way to put it into Sims 4, which when you brought up multiplayer was never planned for Sims 4. That was supposed to be in Sims 5. Like that was the big thing for Sims 5. So I guess they didn't waste their time. If they've already built the blueprints for this, they can just put it in a game that's already functional
and sell it in
into
pieces.
a platform.
Yep.
Which to be honest, funny enough, who would there be their competition, like Fortnite and Roblox? Like that's in terms of the creativity and being able to kind of make your own.
This is fucking smart of them. This is so smart of them, especially when like games are flopping right and left after putting millions and millions of dollars into them. So if I was them, I would have done the same thing. Like everything we were doing on Sims 5 before we even release it and lose money, because like when a game first gets released and then the public gets a hold of it, that's its first time actually getting like that amount of play, and you're going to find all kinds of bugs. So for them to be like, we're just going to put shit, and we already know there's things wrong with Sims 4, but we already know the people are still going to continue to play Sims 4 and complain, so it doesn't matter. We're just going to put everything that we're going to put in this new game and the Sims 4 and like cut our losses. And that is a smart business move.
Hey,
So,
really
you can have your
quickly,
show
I do
back.
apologize. I'm gonna switch gears, but first, you guys might not know him, but he is an OG in the gaming space, at least in my circle. Big Mike from the platform apparently has passed away, man. That hurt to see, man, because Big Mike is one of the OGs in the gaming circle from back when I started YouTube, man. Just seen the post on Twitter. And it sucks, man. Shout out to his family, and condolences to them, and hoping that they can figure out a way to. That sucks, man. Sorry, I didn't want to go on without acknowledging that, because I don't know if y'all saw me kind of zone out here doing this whole topic. And that's why I zoned out, because I was shocked when I saw struggle posts, and I was like, ain't no way, ain't no way. And I looked, and there it is. So condolences to Mike's family, and prayers, man. That sucks.
Yeah,
that sucks.
Much
It's gonna be hard for
love.
me to. I don't know how I'm supposed to transition, but I do got to transition. Unfortunately, and I do want to talk about the Nintendo Switch 2. The Nintendo Switch 2 was leaked. A lot of people are saying that this leak is fake. This mock-up is fake. But it ran rapid up and down. Yeah, Slycrow. Yeah, that was my exact sentiment. Rest in peace, Big Mike. But the Switch 2 mock-up went around, right? And a lot of people was like, this looks terrible. This looked like a G Cloud. Like, this doesn't look like what we would expect from, and no hate to the G Cloud, right? But it's not what we expect to see from from the next Nintendo Switch, right? Was the Joy Cons were supposedly magnetic. They're not the slide on. They must be supposed to be magnetic. The power was supposed to be somewhere around the PS4. A lot of this news went out, and I don't really want to harp on this because again, it's a Reddit leak, and we know. But a lot of the big sites, I want to say even. Did I say Digital Foundry put a
I
post?
want to
up
say
about
just about
something?
everybody went in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Digital Foundry even put a tweet up that said this is the most interesting / plausible Switch 2 image, and this was the motherboard. It looks like some rough prototype components. Why fake a motherboard? I'm sorry, why fake a mainboard? Pay attention to the small size of the battery chamber and keep expectations firmly in check on handheld performance. So it looks like even Digital Foundry saying, hey, there might be some truth behind these leaked images. But I don't want to really dig into, hey, what do you think about this leaked image, right? Because we can't really talk about that because yeah, it's an image, it's a mock-up, right? But B, as someone who I know who is like in drenched in handhelds, right? G Cloud, ROG. What are your expectations for the Switch 2? Do you plan on buying a Switch 2? Because I have a Switch that I don't really play. My kids play it now. Even from what we're seeing and from this leak, do you have any expectation or excitement for the Switch 2?
I'm hoping they overhaul their online setup, which is something I don't think they would need a new console.
Like achievements?
Achievements, a better like interactive system, like not having to type in these long ass codes to add somebody.
Ooh, yeah.
Or like just
And better
being able
controllers,
to
'cause
jump in. Yeah, you
the
know what I
fucking
mean?
drift. Oh my god.
And then the like the idea of it running like a PS4, that this is going to be great for the Nintendo Switch. But in a world where you see how I said for the Nintendo Switch, but in a world where I'm
That's kind of
playing,
where I expect for it to be. PS4
yeah,
Pro-ish. Yeah.
and that's dope. I just hope that they don't try to come out with a new cartridge. And I hope because I can totally see them doing it.
What if it's not
Uh
BC?
oh, that I
If it's
hope
not
to.
backwards compatible, that's a major L. And can I say this? I want to make it known, right? What I need Nintendo to do with their thing, right? Because they're the only one without achievements, right? All I need them to do, because they got the Mario stars, right? Your thing is a star, and you know how Xbox you got that perfect little chime when you get a rare achievement. All I want to hear from Nintendo is woohoo!
That would
You
be
know,
dope.
the
That
sound
would be
design in
dope.
Nintendo games is just as impeccable as the music in Nintendo games.
Oh, absolutely.
And that's yeah, I'm with you, Fame. That's kind of like a very underutilized like feature of Nintendo. Like just
For real.
something that we know Nintendo for is very underutilized.
I don't think Nintendo
Cares?
caters to the hardcore gamer. Well, that too, but
They
I
don't.
think
They cater to the
more
hardcore
towards
Nintendo
casual.
gamer.
Yes.
Well, yeah, but the
That's
hardcore
a funny way to
Nintendo
put it.
gamer plays more casual style games because that's what Nintendo puts out, right? Like Nintendo's not putting out like movie worthy games. Like that's not their thing.
I don't think the hardcore gamer and the hardcore Nintendo. I think they're two different people.
You think one will
In my
buy a
opinion,
box and one
I
wouldn't
think
buy
hardcore
In
Nintendo gamers
some
are
ways,
different
yes.
than the hardcore gamer.
Yeah, I feel like a hardcore Nintendo player is a Disney pass holder versus somebody who plays.
Yes.
I
Yeah,
almost
like
said that in
that's
the
how
wedding
I
show.
envision
Mm.
hardcore. That when I think hardcore Nintendo fan, I think hardcore Disney fan.
Yeah.
Like
No
that's
shade, but they're
no
different.
shade,
No,
not at all.
fair.
But just
I don't
that's
think
what
that's
I.
shading
Yeah.
anyone at all. It's a different experience. Like I
Yes.
guess what I'm trying to say is Nintendo offers a different experience for their audience versus like Sony, right? Versus like Xbox. Like that's just not their vibe. I do think it will be backwards compatible only because like they've made a lot of money off their backlog catalog for games that came out years ago that you can now download. And even if they do change the cartridge, which would be stupid, actually I take that back. I'm not going to say it would be stupid, but most people download their games anyways straight down. Like I do feel like we are moving away from cartridges. You know what I mean? I don't think if people can't get the newest cartridge, they'll just download the game from the Nintendo store. So that's my only thing. I think the only games that are like kind of like movie quality are like games that they've allowed onto Nintendo Switch, but not games that they've necessarily produced themselves because they don't need to. They could literally make a game about Mario having diarrhea and somebody would buy it.
And it could be limited time and
Fact.
somebody would buy it because that's what happened before. They definitely sold a limited
I
time.
mean, they sold boxes.
Yep.
You guys, you don't understand. They sold cardboard boxes.
And people bought them.
And people bought, like, they ran out. Like, you can't go and find them. I mean, you'd have to go to Japan. But, like, if you can sell people a cardboard box, you ain't got nothing to worry about.
Yeah. And once
Yeah.
again, that's
Because-
why I compare the Nintendo fan to the Disney fan.
Oh,
Like,
I
absolutely.
think you
That's
are right
why.
in all the most messed up ways possible, and all the funniest ways possible too. Because I think Xbox kind of, especially after the 360, spent a lot of time running from their reputation, and we know what their reputation is, right? I think PlayStation leaned into it very strong, but this generation, because in a lot of ways they want Xbox's success, if that makes sense, they started running from theirs too. Nintendo, since playing cards, has been Nintendo.
Oh, yeah,
Like
nobody else. But what Nintendo?
Yeah.
Breaking news. Breaking news. And
Uh-oh.
shout out to the chat. I think somebody in the chat said it. Maybe not. But yeah, according to Jametsu, I never knew how to say their name. Nintendo and the Pokemon Company has filed a lawsuit against Pocket Pair for Palworld.
Oh, they won.
Ooh.
They won that. I think they won 15 million. It was on Instagram.
How so fast?
Or they settled
Wait.
it for 15 million. Unless I'm thinking of a different game that they sued with,
So-
or was it the
Come on,
Pokemon?
Palworld.
This was today.
No,
So
not
Nintendo-
Palworld.
No, this is Palworld. So
Oh,
Nintendo together with the Pokemon Company, and this is according to Jametsu. Shout out to Sal. Nintendo together with the Pokemon Company filed a patent infringement lawsuit in Tokyo District Court against Pocket Pair on September 18th, seeking an infringement and compensation for damages on the grounds that the Pocket Pair developed Palworld infringes multiple patent rights, the company announced. Yeah.
I'm surprised it took this long.
They
Right.
probably wanted to see
oh,
if it
you
was
knew
going to
that
be
was
successful.
happening.
They let
Yeah.
them build up the money.
Because
it
it
was
was
so
so
funky, like, it
many
was so-
pals that were just
Yeah.
Pokemon. Like,
It just-
like
yeah.
majority
Yeah,
of them
a
were
lot of
just
ways.
I was
Pokemon
like,
restated.
this is close. Yeah.
Was
Like
there like
Mario
almost
was a
like
newest.
Palworld was
character
like
in the game?
What happened?
Was there an Ash Ketchum looking character in the game?
It's possible. I would
Nuh-uh.
not.
Not
be
that
I'm
I
just
remember.
asking
Yeah.
because
Not that I
I
remember.
saw something where either it was Pokemon suing someone, and I saw this yesterday, and they settled for like 15 million, or they won the suit for 15 million because there were characters, like there were Pokemon in it, and they even had a character that looked kind of just like Ash Ketchum. So they're going after everybody.
Damn.
But,
We
like,
back to this.
It's Nintendo.
It's
Yeah,
Nintendo.
we
What
back
do
in
you
that part of the cycle now.
happen?
Because we know
Do
this comes
y'all-
around every so often. Every few years, like
somebody
Nintendo
gets
go,
sued.
yeah, they start striking lightning and going scorched
Do y'all
They've really
remember
been
the
on
earth
great
on everybody
anime?
that has an IP. They look like theirs, and a lot of times. Wait, what about anime?
Do y'all remember the great anime purge when everybody was like dropping notes on Twitter like, "Hey, delete all your work, they're coming," and they were like
Oh,
running
I
through.
remember that. Yeah.
The great
I remember
purge, bro. That was
Disney did that
crazy.
too. Disney did that too. Like if your
Uh-huh.
stuff looks like the characters, like they were like, you can either take it down or you can get sued.
Yeah,
I'm
it was
very
bad. It was
surprised.
a purge across like, yeah.
I'm very
have not played
surprised they didn't
Palworld.
stop that. Like, y'all remember that Pixar filter?
Oh, okay.
Everybody was doing all like the TikTok filter that made you look like a Disney like Pixar
Yeah.
character. I'm surprised they didn't try to kill that.
I just found it,
Listen,
guys. So Nintendo won. They've won several lawsuits recently, but there was a Yuzu emulator lawsuit that they just won.
Oh yeah.
And
yeah,
then they
yeah,
lost-
We
I think we
covered
did a
that.
show on that.
We,
Oh, I
yeah.
They
heard
did.
about that.
Mhm.
they won one for the Switch controller patent, and then the Tegan one was settled. And that, I think that's the one that I was talking about that had like, it was like a patent infringement, but I had only read about it yesterday.
Hugger, are you shocked at all about this lawsuit?
It's Nintendo. They said straight from the beginning, we don't like what you're doing, we will sue you. Like you said, I'm just surprised it took this long. It's Nintendo. Nintendo do.
Honestly, I love Palworld. Palworld is a lot of fun, but I've been waiting for it to be taken down for a very long time because honestly, it's like, hey, you copy my homework, but don't do it all the way. Change it a little bit, and they changed it a little bit.
I mean,
Like, granted,
what do you think?
Granted, I will say they have created something that should give Pokemon a reason to change the formula because the Pokemon games have gotten very stagnant, very repetitive, and Palworld gave us something. They gave us a world that Pokemon should have given us a very long time ago. And that part of me that hates this because yes, they did cheat off of them with some of their power with the Pals Pokemon stuff, right? Yes, but they created a game that Pokemon should have been giving us. Hey, I'm a kid in a world alone, no mommy, no daddy. I got to go out and get it on my own. I got to feed myself. I got to catch these mons. Like, Pokemon needs to give us a Palworld without the guns, obviously, right? They should give us a Palworld style game because obviously, with the amount of people who play Palworld, there are Pokemon fans who've been wanting a game like this for a very long time.
But you know what though? They got so close with Arceus, like Pokemon Legends. It was like I keep saying that Pokemon Legends Arceus is the most gangster Pokemon game. And I say that way because it is as you describe. You a kid, you are basically a young kid out in the world, thrown to the wolves, and you gotta figure it out. You don't have a Pokemon at first. You better just grab them Pokeballs and figure it out. And then they kind of like pulled their punches with it, and it kind of made me sad. I get it because it's Nintendo, but it kind of like lessened the impact of what the game kind of was trying to portray. This is like the past. This is before the civilization is really established like that. This is, you got to go out there and go out on the frontier and establish all of the things that you know to be in like the later parts of the timeline. And then Palworld gave you that. And the crazy part is Palworld is far from the first quote unquote Pokemon clone to do Pokemon better than Pokemon.
A bunch of them.
Tim, I was like saying its praises for a while. Tim is better than Pokemon in a lot of ways. If you ever wanted a Pokemon MMO, Tim is it.
I literally think just because they copied the exact creatures from it, like, and that was honestly that was
slavery. You're right,
and they should have absolutely been sued for that. Like that's just copyright. Like that's 101.
It almost
I think
once I saw Anubis, I was like, "Oh, that's Lucario."
Yeah,
word for word,
so,
bar
like,
for bar, that's Lucario.
My thing is that like they made a lot of money, so within that time, they should have. What's the word I'm looking for? They should have added their own characters. Well, I'm just saying they had enough time to phase those characters out and add in their own characters.
True.
Listen,
so like this was stupid on their part.
That's facts. Shout out to Nisa Howard said Digimon was better than Pokemon. That's not true. However, King Kong was a banger.
It's definitely true.
Digimon was dope.
It's like objectively true.
Into digital champions to change the digital world. Digimon, that's a slapper, bro.
Yeah.
And then season 3 over everything. Tamers season over everything. The realest season. I don't care.
And the movies were fantastic.
Amazing. Digimon is objectively better than Pokemon in a lot of ways.
1,000%.
Oh, I agree. I like the character arcs better in Digimon as well. Because I felt like we were just following Ash around for the longest time and he didn't really know where he was going.
Well, what didn't make sense is like I can go from a rat to a salamander to a man with wings. Like that shit made no. I'm sorry.
That
That made no
Digivolution
sense.
has
Well,
like
I'm sorry.
Mini Man too.
I'm sorry, your Digimon don't wear the skull of his dead mama and walk around and get revenge.
Right.
It would make
with
more
a
sense. How you go from a salamander to a man?
But they
Because
weren't
of
actual
evolution.
like
Because they're digital
right.
monsters.
They weren't like I mean I get what you're saying, but they weren't like animals in the same way that Pokemon were animals, right? Like that's why they were Digimon, because there was a digital aspect to it.
What does Digimon mean?
Software.
A digital monster.
A digital
What does Pokemon mean?
Are they the
You don't
winners?
know
Or
any
are they?
exact-
Oh, they're the champions. They're the champions. Shout out to Digimon. Listen, we're gonna get up out of here, man. Welcome back, the floor hugger. Thank you for yeah, you did sorry, but listen, because Digimon had the most hype theme song ever, bro. Let's go listen to it. And you're gonna be like, man, this changing. And bro, it just goes so hard, bro. Listen.
You shouldn't be so right in the chat if you didn't want us to go down a whole rabbit hole with your comment.
Listen.
Yep. That's true.
We'll have a whole Digimon Pokemon episode. Listen, we're gonna get up out of here. Hugger, welcome back, my love. Thank you for being here once again, running the show, keeping us pretty as usual. Baron working his ass off at Lv1gaming.com. Shout out to him for being one of the best recruiters upon recruiters, man. We got 3 or 4 new writers at Lv1gaming.com who are doing fantastic work. Dallas is one of the greatest artists I've ever known. I wish you'd let people hear his music more. And Des is the hardest working woman in the games industry. With all that said, listen, gaming headsets should not have to be expensive. If you want the best budget headset, it's on my head right now. It is the Aviga. The link's in the description down below. This is a $60 wired headset. It is the best wired headset for your money. Get 10% off and free shipping using promo code LV1 Gaming. Link is in the description. With all that said, you guys are level up. This is the Level 1 Gaming Podcast. We'll be back next Wednesday, 6 p.m. CST. If you laugh one time, you owe us a like. If not, we out of here. Peace.
Bye.